Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing today? Hope that this audio finds everybody, as always, doing well. It's the beginning of the day for me, but hopefully, whenever you're listening to this, you're having a wonderful, ongoing day. Yeah. I'm going to get right into it. Of course, I have my cup of joe sitting right next to me. What will life be without a cup of hot joe in the morning? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Especially on a chilly morning at that. I'm going to get right into it, talking today about important information that, in my honest opinion, that sometimes we overlook. Now, why do we overlook important things? Because sometimes it just happens to be the simplest of stuff. And it's the simplest of stuff at times that we do overlook. For example, even the way a person, let's say, wears their nails or their glasses, whatever, styles, whatever, simple changes can mean a big difference sometimes in a person's appearance. Just saying that as an example. But also simple things come in the forms of questions. Because sometimes we're just so used to things, we become, as I call it, a little bit numbified to it. What do I mean by numbified? Well, we're just so used to it that we just take it at face value. For example, let's say a friend of yours develops a headache at work, and you take out one of your list of headache powders or headache pills or tablets or whatever you have, and you offer it to your friend to provide relief. And that's a very common thing people do. Just so a lot of times when we go to the actual pharmacy or drugstore to pick out over-the-counter medication. Now, we're so used to the bombardment of over-the-counter medication and its easy accessibility that I guess sometimes we feel like it's as familiar as the wallpaper that grandma put up in her kitchen. You know what I'm trying to say? We're just so used to it being there over time that we forget that in truth and in fact that these medications actually can cause side effects, maybe immediately to some and maybe over time, in other cases, or whatever. This is where good communication skills comes in handy. Let's talk about good communication skills, stepping away from the pharmacy just for a minute. For example, let's say you want to save some money on meat, for example. If you establish a good rapport, a good relationship with, let's say, the butcher at the butcher of your local grocery store, by being kind and polite and just, a nice person as much as possible, you never know that you might get the insider's tips. You may get the exact, best price for everything that you need as far as meat goes. So too, you could also, you don't need to have a great rapport in general with a pharmacist, because in pharmacy, you really should be getting, the correct answers. But here's what I mean by getting numbified while we're looking at pharmaceuticals, because you could find them easily, you could find them readily, you could find them in the grocery store, supermarkets, even down the little corner stores in areas too. But this, in my opinion, happens to be the most important question that anyone should ask a pharmacist, even if it's something as, quote, simple as buying, let's say, over-the-counter pain relief like ibuprofen or acetaminophen. Okay, every single thing has actually some side effect to it. They may absolutely take away your symptom. Let's say if a person has a simple headache and you take one of those, whatever, and find relief. And of course, people want relief. There's no question about that. But the most important question, in my honest opinion, and you should have no hesitation or doubt to ask your pharmacist, is, does this over-the-counter medicine have side effects? Very important question, because it has been found. And if you read the labels or you just go online, even if you don't have the item in your possession, that's what's so great about, being able to go online and finding out, some information, but get confirmation of absolute, from your doctor or pharmacist about possible side effects for medication. For example, I knew of someone that their legs were having a little bit of a swelling issue. And that person had a friend that said, hey, I noticed your legs are starting to look a little swollen. And, that person like probably didn't think much of it. But as it turned out, because that person was taking over the counter medication, that one of the side effects included leg swelling. And this is, an innocent looking over the counter, medication. So once again, the theme prevails of buyer beware and be aware, actually. Be aware of possible side effects. And, how does it weigh out in your case and your decision making? And please, by all means, the whole purpose of this audio is to remind everyone that just because something is simple and commonly used at home, that doesn't mean it does not pose a possible side effect. So once again, we read our labels. I have to read my labels. It's just an important thing. But if you have any concerns over any over-the-counter, just because it's not a prescription doesn't mean it's all innocent and nothing, can happen. Oftentimes, sometimes prescription things are just a stronger strength of similar stuff that is found over the counter. But that does not mean that it may not have a possible side effect. And you have to decide what suits you in that case. And consult, as always, with any serious questions, with your health care provider. And in the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City, trying to help out with a couple of reminders now and then. Wishing everyone a wonderful upcoming day. And if it's evening, have a wonderful evening. And as always, I look forward to seeing everybody again when? Real soon. Stay informed, everyone. Have a great day.